Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Welcome back. On today's show, I will be reviewing some tech right here live from Renton, Washington, which is located in the USA. That's right. As you know, recently I've been doing a lot of upgrades around here. And since most of the hardware has been locked down, I've been working on peripherals, touches here and there. And today, on the show, what I'd like to do is actually spend a segment showing you some of the improvements that I have made that have dramatically improved my performance in games like Call of Duty. So today, I'll show you some of the things that have been kind of in flux and I've been testing and give you my honest opinions about different kinds of things, including desk mats and wrist rests and more. That's going to be a fun segment because I'll actually give you some advice if you're building your own office. Plus, today, of course, we'll get caught up with all the current games and playthroughs. We'll have some fun interactivity and chill vibes. Good show today. I'm excited. It's going to be more laid back, but it's also going to be pretty fun. So, sit back and relax, ladies and gentlemen. It's a midweek episode of the Level 1 Podcast. All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. It's the Level 1 Podcast, live from Renton, Washington. Wow, I almost couldn't even say that. Today is Tuesday, the 6th of January, 2025. Of course, I'm DSP, and I welcome you here to the show. Hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're ready to relax and have a good time with me here today. It should be a good time with everything that we've got to talk about. Getting you all caught up on all the current playthroughs and stuff because we've actually had some interesting changes to the schedule as of yesterday. But also, like I said, I've actually been doing some active updates to my studio over the course of the last month to month and a half. A lot of them you know about because I've told you about the OLED monitor a ton of times and you've seen me play a bunch of games on it. But a lot of it you don't because it's more behind the scenes stuff. And so today, what I'd like to do is point out some of the things that I've been testing because honestly, I tested quite a few different things to try to find the right level of comfort and performance. And in a lot of ways, it's tough to do, to be honest. Like there's a lot of options out there for certain things. Like for example, let's say you're building, something for like a gaming setup and you need to have a good, comfortable setup so that when you're playing on mouse and keyboard, you get enough comfort, but you're also getting support. And you get something that works different kinds of gaming sessions. Well, there's a million options. Like, no exaggeration, there's so many kinds of wrist rests out there. And I hadn't really taken it seriously. Like, previously, I had like crappy ones and things that were either cheap off Amazon or whatever. And I decided to actually do some research and actually try out various different ones. And today, what I'd like to do is show you, hey, this is what I was using. Here's what I thought about it in this situation or that situation. Because sometimes it's good for one thing, but not another. Like, for example, maybe there's something that's really good for typing. It's not very good for gaming. So I'm going to give you that information today with a live review. If you're not interested in that, that's perfectly fine. But I figured, hey, I've got all of this, knowledge now that I'm accumulating. Why not share it with my audience for some variety on today's show? There you go. So, we're going to do a little rundown. I'll actually have the camera on over here, and I'll show you different things in place and how they work and things like that. It should be pretty fun if you're into that kind of thing. And, of course, we're going to hang out and chill and interact and have a good time together. So, good stuff today. And then, of course, after today's podcast, we are going to jump into Arc Raiders for the first time this week. And I'm actually excited for Arc Raiders today because I've made a decision. Much like I'm making all these decisions this week, like, oh, if I play RimWorld, we're going to do one more stream and then we're taking it seriously and we're starting a new run at normal difficulty and stuff like that. I've been getting feedback in Arc Raiders. People are like, you've been doing free loadouts now for ages. Are you ever going to get serious about the game and actually risk your real loadouts? Are you going to have your real weapons and your items with you? Because really that's part of Arc Raiders is supposed to be risk reward. Like the risk is, you're taking good equipment and you can play better because of it. But at the same time, if you die, you lose all that equipment. But the reward is that you have a successful run and now you get a whole bunch of loot and rewards. So yes, as of today, I've decided I'm actually going to take it a lot more seriously in regards to the runs. And so we will do that today, set up real kits and drop for real and try to actually get these upgrades that I've been trying to get now for 2-3 streams. So should be a good stream overall. We've got the podcast and then some chill vibes in Arc Raiders. Someone's commenting on my collar. That collar drives me insane. Is it supposed to look like that? No, do you want to know what this collar's supposed to look like? You ready? I'll show you. That's legitimately what this sweater is supposed to look like. It's supposed to be, I guess, I don't know what they call it. It's a mock turtleneck or whatever. And personally, I like it. Okay, I like it like that. But when I wore it like this last year, when I first bought it, everyone basically said, that looks terrible. Oh, you have a button? You're not supposed to have your collar button like that. So basically I said, all right, forget it. And I unbuttoned it like that. So there you go. Like, either way is fine with me. I don't really give a crap. But people were basically complaining when I first bought this sweater last year. So there you go. We already have shout-outs to do. Thank you so much. Chef Demeski is here this morning. Just gifted 5 memberships to the community. Thank you, Chef. It's good to see you. And thanks for stopping by and supporting the channel so early this morning. Let's actually get that up on the leaderboard. And congrats to anyone who just got a gifted membership. Very nice. Nice, good early support here. Thank you, Chef. So, by the way, I'm going to say hello to everyone. Oh, got another contribution from Chef. Hold on a second here. Chef did a $10 super chat, and he says, Happy Tuesday, Phil. I've been enjoying the Arc Raider streams. Snazzy sweater, by the way. Thank you, Chef. Yes, I'm also enjoying the Arc Raiders streams. The vibe is chill when I play, usually, although there is always a level of risk and interesting to see what I'll get, that randomized chance to get something great or, get nothing at all, or oops, you made a mistake and now you die and you lose a bunch of stuff. I really do like the loop of this extraction shooter genre now that I know exactly what it is. Keep in mind, till a month ago, I had no clue what this was. I'm very happy that I gave it a chance because people kept asking me to play it, and eventually they convinced me. And now it's been a great part of my gameplay loop, right? This last month, I've had a great time with it. So today will definitely be good, for sure, if you stick around for Arc Raiders, because like I said, we're going to do it a little bit differently today and actually get a little bit more risk, but hopefully get more reward as well. I really want to get that bench upgrade today, okay? So thank you, Chef. All right, let's say hello to everyone. How's everyone doing this morning? Welcome to the stream. Who do we got today? We got Cheetah Man. We got Chris. We got Peak Kinekuman. I don't even know what that means. We got Sep and Argo. Wok. Who else do we got? Of course, we got Chef Demeski. Dave is here. Grandmaster Scrub is here. Gazo is here. The real Mr. McClappins. What a name. And Corey, how y'all doing? On the kick side, we got NWO Debo. King Dumas. Bizarre pronunciation. Tremendous Awful. Ethan Ralph Enjoyer. Charlie Chang Strikes Back. That's an interesting name. RGB Lover, Legend Lurker. Lillian Voss. Sewer Rat is here today. Super Bon Chan is here this morning. What's up, everybody? The Reeds are alive. Are they really? And indeed, Delulu is not the Salulu. Is also here. And Greed Jar, too. And Most Tasteless. A lot of people are showing up. Cool. When Escape from Tarkov when? Here's the thing. I didn't even understand what Escape from Tarkov was. And then when I started playing Arc Raiders, you guys were like, oh, so you're playing this. Are you going to play Escape from Tarkov? I was like, what do you mean? And people were like, well, Escape from Tarkov is also an extraction shooter. It was like the original one. you're basically playing the latest and greatest. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. Like, I didn't even understand that about it. But the thing is, if I'm playing the latest and greatest, why would I then play the previous, right? Like, okay. This would be like saying, so you've never played Mass Effect, you've never played Dragon Age, but instead of playing those, you opt to go play Knights of the Old Republic, right? Which is fine, and I did do that for the record, but it was a good way to get the history of the series after basically I had played, you know, those more modern versions to then go back and see what BioWare had done before. You see? I think right now, if I'm going to play extraction shooters, I should focus all my time on Arc Raiders. Like, that's the game everyone wants. That's the game that, I should be playing more and investing more time in, because I'm only playing it like twice a week and I'm not making very much progress, right? So, there you go. I'm being told Tarky is more mill sim, Arc is casual. So you're saying it's more of a serious sim? Anyway, so no, I'm not really interested right now in Escape from Tarkov, but like I said, never say never. These days, I don't like completely shooting down ideas, because it seems like every time that I shoot down an idea, when I eventually try it, it works. So, shame on me, maybe, for not listening all these years, but at the same time, I am doing a lot right now, and I don't think that I should take more stuff on my plate where we're already kind of doing, Arc Raiders and everything. And I'm liking Arc Raiders, and it's working, Yeah, everyone's saying Tarkov's super immersive. It's very deep, many moving parts. Involved sweaty type of game, but rewarded if you become a dedicated player. Wow. Interesting. Okay, cool. Big Larry Gaming just sent a $2 tip. That is our first tip of the day. Let's get it up on the leaderboard. Okay, and Big Larry says the following. A demo of Dragon Quest VII is coming out at the end of this week. It would be a good test stream to see if it works for your content. It seems to be about 2 to 3 hours of content that transfers to the main game. Have a good day. Oh, interesting. I'll have to look into that. I mean, I am interested in that. Like I said, I love Dragon Quest. We haven't played a Dragon Quest game in a very, very long time. And Dragon Quest VII Remake looks good to me. But, like you just said, I have no idea if it will work for my content. It seems like every time I try to play an RPG, it's incredibly hard to get an audience for it. Right now, we're kind of booked for the rest of the week. Today we're doing Arc Raiders and RimWorld. Tomorrow we're doing Clair Obscur and more Arc Raiders. Thursday we're doing Pokemon and Call of Duty. And Friday we got a new game, Code Violet, and it's the return of Street Fighter 6 to Friday Night Fights. We're giving it a shot. But that doesn't mean that, like, next week maybe we couldn't try this demo if people are interested. So what I'd like is everyone's opinion. Are you interested in the Dragon Quest VII demo? Is this something that I should check out? Let me know, yes or no. Okay. What's going on? More people are saying hello. Good morning, Game Boy. How are you? Troy441 keeps asking me what controller it is that I've been using for gaming. So, about a month ago, I bought this guy. This is the Razer Wolverine 8K Pro controller. Okay? Why is it called the 8K Pro? Because it has an up to 8,000 polling rate, which is ridiculous. I don't know why anyone would use an 8,000 polling rate. I don't think that anyone would use that. I think mine I have it set to 2,000. And I love the controller because it is one of the most, if not the most lightweight controller I've ever used in my life. It has a rubberized grip on the sides of the controller, which I love. The thumbsticks are the Xbox 360 configuration, which I love having the left thumbstick higher and the other one lower. Incredibly quick response time when I use this thing. The face buttons are the clicky style, and they're not hard and don't give you resistance. They just like a soft click, which I enjoy. The bumpers and triggers are very responsive. You have extra buttons that are programmable. It has incredibly long battery life. Like, I think this is supposed to last something like 3-4 days of gaming. To give you an example, I've used it all day, plugged it in, and within 20 minutes, the thing was fully charged. Okay? It also has adjustable resistance to your triggers. So if you play FPS and you want it to be more responsive right away, you can actually have it like that. Or you can have it be the standard depress it all the way triggers. So I love it. Love this controller. It's expensive. It's $200. But so far, it's been worth every penny. I guess my question is, how long will it last? I love it. It's great for everything I've used it for. And I've used it for Arc Raiders, Expedition 33, a ton of other random games in between. And it's great. It absolutely is a really good controller. Okay? So there you go. There's your answer, Troy. Okay. Let's see here. What's up, Abdullah? Good morning. How are you, man? Good to see ya. When I bring back Mario Kart World, never. Oh, no, it has no RGBs. None of the Razer stuff I have has RGBs. All the best Razer stuff has no RGBs. This is the best, like, Razer controller. This is one of the best Razer mice. They don't have RGBs because they don't mess around. They're like, nah, it's serious business. We don't need RGBs on that shit. If you want RGBs, you go for, like, Logitech, see? Like, Logitech has all the fancy RGBs on their stuff. That's what you go for. Okay. All right. True, nothing here says, I never played a Dragon Quest game. It might be nice to play through this demo if it is only a few hours. Might introduce some new players to the franchise. There you go. That is true. Abdullah says, well, that controller has no vibration functionality. You're right. It does not have vibration at all. That's the one thing it's lacking. That and RGBs, I guess. But I don't really care about vibration. To be honest, I don't think vibration has ever added anything to any game I've ever played. Even the crazy haptic feedback stuff in the PlayStation 5 controller, almost no games really even actively use it or use it effectively. So it's not a big deal to me. Okay. Oh, we got another contribution. Hold on. Someone tipped $2 and says, a YouTuber has confirmed doing a documentary that will expose people who orbit famous YouTubers and the economy surrounding content theft and farming. Thoughts on a detractor expose? Sounds interesting. It was 2 years ago, well, I guess a year and a half ago, right? Where I had a big expose documentary done on me by June the King. I had reacted to the entirety of the thing, and then I had June as a guest on my show. And during that interview, I said to June, wouldn't it be fascinating if instead of actually microanalyzing the people that people are saying are lol cows and basically just talking about them for 4 hours, instead you take a look at these crazy obsessed communities around them, the people that orbit them and literally every waking moment clip them, stalk them, do what they can to interfere with their lives to have this monetizable content. Like, wouldn't that be more interesting to see what kind of person would do that? And June was against it. He said, no, I don't think that's interesting. I don't think that that would be something that people would watch. I disagree. I think that the real lol cows in this situation become the community surrounding the person. Because the person is just trying to get by. Maybe they're nuts and maybe they do wacky, weird things. But they're just trying to get by and have a normal life, despite the fact that maybe it's publicized on the internet. But it's these weirdo, obsessive communities that form around them that I think are way more fascinating of a tale. So, hey, if someone's making a documentary on that, maybe I'd be interested in watching it, you know? All right. Well, thanks for $2 there. And Lance Catamaran has gifted our first sub of the day over on Kick. Thank you, Lance. That's our first Kick support of the day. I appreciate that. Loves to Spooge, what a name, says, hey, just so you know, I bought Tainted Grail because of your streams, so I'm glad that you got to play it. I'm glad to hear that. Again, for me, I think what's going to become more commonplace, but also I need to start to learn to accept, is that not every game that I like is going to work. And I mean that, like, not every game that I personally enjoy is going to end up working for my streams. There are certain games that will and certain games that won't, and I have to find that right balance and know when it's pushing it too far and playing it too much if no one's caring. For example, with Tainted Grail, all right, I've played it 3 times. I played it as a premiere stream when it was a secret, then I did it as a full daytime stream, and then I did it as a night stream. All right, it's just not working. I'm not getting a good audience that really cares that much about it, and at some point you got to say, all right, and I gave it 3 tries, I think that's enough. And it sucks because I like the game. But sometimes it's not about what I like. It's about what's going to work for the streams. And in this case, I think it made sense to say, all right, that's enough, move on. but I'm glad that I played enough. I played, what, like 6 hours or something like that? I think I played it enough that people got a taste for what it is and will know whether or not they want to check it out. And that's really the goal of my content to begin with, is to give you an honest take on the games that I'm trying and let you know, like a kind of an everyman mentality here. You know, average dude is just playing it. What would you think of it? There you go. Personally, I love it. So if anyone is playing Tainted Grail right now as a result of my content of it, I'm really glad to hear that. And I hope that you enjoy the game. I'm smacking. It's funny because the detractor meme has now been lip smacking. It's not lip smacking. It's my tongue. It's my mouth. It's basically when I'm talking and I swallow. Or for example, yesterday I sneezed. And when I sneezed, Niagara Falls. What does that mean? I have postnasal drip. I've had it my whole life. So if my nose tickles or I sneeze or whatever, basically I get gross, phlegm and yuck dripping down the back of my throat. And the only real way to clear it out is to go snorting and stuff. Now I'm muting that now. I have the drop button, so I mute it when I do it. But basically, my mouth was all screwed up as a result of it too. So as I was talking yesterday, I was smacking my lips, but I wasn't. What I was doing is actually my tongue and my mouth. It's going to rehydrate basically before I talk. And it was prominent during the earlier stream, like the podcast. I was doing it a lot. These idiots are, again, they hyperfixate on everything. So they've started counting the smacks, they're calling them. Even though they're not lip smacks, my lips aren't involved at all. It's like a mouth smacking. And I guess it's perfectly fine. Let them hyperfixate on whatever they want. But that's their new meme. It's hilariously stupid and they're brain dead. Anyway, so cool. Where do we want to start today? We have a bunch of stuff to do. First off, so very briefly, I already told you what the schedule is for the week, right? So people are asking me, what should I do in regards to Street Fighter 6? And honestly, as of right now, I think we're going to do it on Friday night. That could change. If enough people rally and they're like, no, Phil, don't do it, stop. I won't do it. But it's kind of a split audience. It seems like it's a 50-50 split on this, okay? And what I mean by that is some people are like, yeah, we like Street Fighter. We like when you play it. Yes, there's rage involved, but at the same time, it's fun to see you learn a game and persevere and have awesome matches where you can kick someone's butt. At the same time, when you get your butt beat and you rage, that's also entertaining. So there's a good amount of people who want to see me go back to it, especially those who were there for that 1.5-year ride of me playing Street Fighter 6, getting all those characters to master and basically playing it a ton. They want that to return. They miss those days of me having that competitive edge every Friday night. But at the same time, there's another half of my audience, and they have some valid points. Let me tell you. Here's the valid point that they have, and I respect this point, okay? Basically, the way I see it, people now are coming to my streams more to relax. Most of you who are here right now for this podcast aren't here for drama, aren't here for any kind of rage. You're here just to relax with me, right? You want to see what I'm up to this morning, maybe have some conversation, hear some topics. That's what you're here for. For our creators, yeah, you want some suspenseful gameplay. You want to see if I complete the runs, but at the same time, you want to hang out with me. That's been a major part that's been happening, is this social aspect to my streams, correct? So, that being said, people are worried that if I do a Street Fighter 6 stream, that's not going to happen. First of all, how can you possibly hang out with me and interact with me if I'm playing Street Fighter 6 and it's taking up all of my time and attention? That's a valid point. When I'm playing these competitive games, I really don't have opportunity to talk with you. Instead, it's more about being focused on the game and if I can make any progress in it. So that's number one, and that's a given, right? Number two, it's going to bring drama. The trolls are going to come out for it. There's going to be stress involved. And a lot of people are like, dude, I thought that you were trying to reduce the amount of drama and reduce the amount of stress. Now, all of a sudden, you got Call of Duty back in the mix. And now that that's back in the mix, now you got Street Fighter 6 back in the mix, right? So all I want to say is I understand, number one, okay, this is not 100% a guaranteed massive return for Street Fighter 6 at all. This very well could be a one-off night stream, a return of Friday Night Fights just for throwback purposes. we give it a shot and we see how it works. And if it doesn't really work, then I don't have to ever do it again. I'm not saying no Friday Night Fights ever again. I'm just saying forget Street Fighter 6, right? Remember, the reason that I quit out from the game is because I was bored with it. You know, it's been about a year. Does that mean that I'm actually going to like the game as much? Probably not, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how it goes. Like I said, I'm going to stick to 4 characters who I was really entertained by playing back when I was playing the game. None of them are top tiers. In fact, most of them are bottom tier. Let's see how it goes and go from there, all right? Now, like I said, if anyone disagrees or there is a staunch reason why I should not be playing this on Friday, let me know. But I think it's worth a one-off shot. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. But on the flip side, maybe it'll go well. Maybe it'll be entertaining for everyone, and then maybe we'll have some fighting games back in the rotation. I don't know. Let's find out. If anything, it's going to be interesting. There's 3 characters I've never seen. I've never seen Elena, Sagat, or C. Viper in this game. You know I'm going to lose to them nonstop because I'm not going to know what the hell's going on, right? So it'll be interesting, to say the least. So that, yes, I'm probably going to play that on Friday, okay? The other thing that was in question is what's going on with Call of Duty, right? Because Call of Duty now, I'm playing with all of my new equipment, some of which we're about to look at right now, actually, because like I said, we're going to have this segment where I look at this tech and stuff. So I'm doing well. Last night, I played Call of Duty Black Ops 7. It went really well. I had one of my best sessions ever, for the record. I think there was only one match where I had a negative kill death ratio. Every other match, I broke even or I was above. I was positive. That never happens. And I think that's a direct result of no input lag, better peripherals with this mouse and keyboard, and other things that I've improved, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I did really well. In fact, we're using the new drone that we unlocked last time. The drone is excellent. It has a sniper drone. You can fly it around and get a bunch of kills with it, which is really awesome. And we were using an assault rifle all night because that was one of the challenges. And we were also using the tagging grenade, I think it's called. You throw it and it tags the enemy and then you kill them when they're tagged. And we got that done. We actually unlocked at the very end of the night the ballistic knife. That's the knife that shoots a projectile. So I'd like to try that out, obviously, because I haven't had a chance to use it yet. But then we swapped from the Peacemaker assault rifle to another one. I think it was called like the M17 or something. And that was even better than the Peacemaker. So we were actually doing good. Like, it was fun because I was actually doing well. It wasn't just me sucking and raging the whole night. And so because of that, I am going to play it again Thursday night. However, here's how it went with support. We had about $60 of support. And then all of a sudden in the last hour, 2 people did a whole bunch of super chats. One guy dropped like $140 or something like that. And another guy did like a $65 super chat. And of course, the accounts came out of nowhere. Never heard of them before. Who could they really be? Who knows, right? Not that it matters. I don't microanalyze every contribution that I get. But yeah, I would more have it be that we get a good crowd of people that are all there and they like it so much that they all support it. And it's basically a massively like crowdfunded success rather than, 2 people basically supported it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to see how things go on Thursday night. I like Call of Duty right now. I'm actually enjoying myself with it, and I want to play it more and keep it in the rotation. But yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens and go from there. I want to play it again Thursday night. So that means 2 multiplayer streams. Thursday night is Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and Friday night is Street Fighter 6. All right, we'll see how all that goes. Cool. Oh, one other thing, because this actually just happened. So there's a new thing called Kick Bounties that's going on. What Kick has done is they're partnering with certain games. And basically, these games are kind of doing like sponsored deals on Kick. What does that mean? That means that if you can complete a certain level of challenges while playing a game on Kick, you are eligible to possibly win something. For example, right now what's going on with this Kick Bounties is if you play Arc Raiders, and if you do, I think it's like 5 different kinds of drops. Like you have to drop certain areas or extract in certain ways. And if you can complete that all on one stream and you keep your stream archived on Kick, they enter you into a contest to possibly win 500 subs. Now, that's nothing to smirk at. 500 subs is a lot of income, right? That's huge. My issue with it is that if you take a look at the actual criteria to enter the contest, it's a lot of work. It's like, so you got to drop here, you got to extract this way and this way, and it's a lot. Like, you would have to do it all in like a stream. It would be hours of work to do it. And you do all that, that's your whole stream. And that's just to get a chance at a sweepstakes. Because that's essentially what it is. You have to complete all those criteria just to get entered into a sweepstakes where only one person will win. I don't like that at all. I don't. Sorry, I'm against that. Like, for me, here's what I would like. Let's say you spend 3-4 hours on a stream doing these criteria, and you're guaranteed 10 subs. We will give you 10 subs today if you do this. Fine, that sounds good to me. I would much rather just earn the 10 subs and have a guaranteed, reward for the work I'm putting in than do a whole stream of this for a minute chance to win because it's a sweepstakes. I don't think that's the way that bounty should be done. That's just my personal take. You can completely disagree. I'm not going to say, hey, Kick shouldn't do this, but they could do whatever they want. But just so everyone knows, that's why I'm not participating. That doesn't make sense to me. To put in the effort of an entire stream to enter a sweepstakes where you have a tiny chance to win doesn't seem to make sense. If it was a guaranteed, even if it was a guaranteed small reward, I'd still probably do it. But to just have a chance makes no sense at all. Okay, so that's my take. That's if you're wondering why is Phil not doing these Kick bounties thing, that's why. Maybe they'll do different bounties in the future for games I'm playing, and I would consider them. But this one for Arc Raiders, I'm not interested. Okay, I'm not going to put in. Imagine that an entire stream dedicated to doing it. I do it at the end, and it's like, okay, sweepstakes entry, you get nothing out of it. Well, what did I just waste my stream for, right? Okay. So that's that. All right, so this week, there will be more Call of Duty on Thursday night. We're trying out Street Fighter on Friday night, all right? And we'll see how all that goes. Keep in mind, new game on Friday. It's, what's it called? Code Violet. That's the spiritual successor to Dino Crisis. I'm excited to try that out. There's also another game coming out on Friday, but we're probably not going to play it immediately because I'm curious if it's good. It's this game about, I guess, people in hazmat suits are, like, taking in, like, people and scanning them to see if they're sick or not or something like that. And I don't exactly know how it works, but people are saying it might be the next hot indie game. So if it ends up being good, maybe we'll play it next week. Okay? So that's a possibility. Geez, what else? There's so much. Oh, so Thursday morning, all right, at the time frame here where I would normally do my Level 1 podcast, it's going to be the most disappointing games of the year countdown right here on the channel. So it'll be a little different format because it won't formally be a podcast. It'll be during the same exact time as the podcast. And what I'm going to do is run through my most disappointing games of 2025. I'll be playing some video of each game and talking over it and telling you why I felt like it was a disappointing game for the year. People look forward to these year-end series every year. So the first one is Thursday morning right here. Same time, same place as today. Okay? Need to have some time to put that together. I'm going to start working on that either tonight or tomorrow and get it all together so I have those videos lined up so we can do the show live on Thursday morning. Okay? So that's coming too. Cool. Emperor Ferb says, I think the game is called Infected Quarantine. Oh, yeah? Is it on Steam? Because we got it in the, when we were looking at the games on Christmas. Apparently, it is not on Steam. Have I ever had Popeye's wings before? I don't think so, no. I've had their tenders, but I don't think they've actually had their wings. No, isn't it called Quarantine Zone The Last Check? I think that's what it's called. Quarantine Zone The Last Check. Yeah. Here it is. See, it says coming out January 12th. Oh, 12. Oh, I thought it was Friday. It's not. It's January 12th. Okay. I'll add it to my wish list here. Cool. From Devolver Digital. Yeah, it's a critical checkpoint during a zombie outbreak. Interesting. And this guy just got hammered in his nuts with a sledgehammer. Holy crap. That's brutal. Oh, you can hit people in the head? Oh, man, hit them in the nuts. Okay. It could be interesting. It actually looks decent. All right. So that's the 12. So next week, perhaps, we'll check that out. Yeah, that could be a new game to check out next week. Along with maybe this Dragon Quest VII demo. If people want me to check that out, too, I would check that out as well. Okay? Good. Okay, cool. So, what I would like to do now, everybody, is I would like to do a little segment where I'm going to run down some of the tech and stuff that I've been testing over the last couple of weeks. You guys haven't really known about it, but I've been doing it kind of behind the scenes and trying to figure out the best, like, setup for my new stuff here in the office and everything. Oh, by the way, hold on. Shout out to Give Me Back My Twitter, who did a $5 super chat. He said, 120 lip smacks. I already explained they're not lip smacks. My lips aren't involved at all, but you could just say smack. So 120 smacks, 327 throat clears. That's just nonsense. There's no way I did 327 throat clears on any kind of a stream because I hate to tell you, I mute them now. So that's just nonsense. You're actually full of crap there. And 3 belches, in case you wanted the official numbers. I would believe 3 belches because likely those all took place during gameplay where I couldn't mute it. But when I'm doing podcasting like this or whatever, I do mute it like just that when it happens. Okay? I am doing my best to try to become a better streamer, to try to do the drops when these things are happening so they don't bother you. I don't want these things to annoy the audience. I'm trying to get better as a content creator now that I have the equipment to do it. Previously, I didn't. Now I do. All right? But there is absolutely no way I did 327 throat clears when I am actively doing my best to try to mute them while I'm talking. That sounds like baloney. All right? So there you go. Sorry about that. I don't believe you there. But nevertheless, that's a $5 contribution. And then Lance Catamaran just gifted a second sub over on Kick. You know what? As we're about to head into the next segment of the show, I might as well just bring up the fact that if you enjoy my content, it would be great if you could engage and support it in some way on today's stream. And here are the ways that it goes. Number 1, if you're watching live, liking the content, hitting that like button, and or subscribing to the channel or following the channel, depending on where you're watching, helps a lot. All of this adds engagement. It adds, numbers to show how many people are following, and all of that helps the content. So if you could do that, if you could like the stream, subscribe to the channel, follow the channel wherever you're watching, that would be great. And thank you in advance to anyone who does that. It's also free to do, so it'd be great if you could do it, okay? No, I did not deny the smacks. I know the smacking is happening. Just, it's not really intrusive to me. Like, I've heard it. I'm like, it's not a big deal. But, again, hyperfixation from some people, right? Okay, so if you are watching right now live and you like the content and you want to go above and beyond and directly support it, I would greatly appreciate if you could do that. The levels of support that a stream receive allow me to determine the priority and order that I play games and the frequency that I do. Obviously, if a game is getting more support, I'm more apt to play it more often because it means that you guys want it more and you're willing to show up for it and engage and support with that content, right? So, if you're on the YouTube side, today you could do a super chat, you could become a member of the channel, or you can gift some memberships to your fellow community members. All of that is great, and it's a great way to support the content via the YouTube side. On the Kick side, you can throw some kicks my way in the chat, or you can become a paid subscriber, or you can give some subscriptions to your fellow viewers, okay? So all of that's great as well. You may consider contributing via one of those ways. Or, if you don't want to involve yourself with either side, you can do a contribution via my PayPal. That's called a tip. And to do that, you type !tip into either chat. A command will pop up to do so, and it'll explain how to do it. Thanks to anyone who does that. If you're not watching live right now, if you just look at the description of the stream, there will be a link there where you can actually tip directly as well. And you can do that, or you could actually leave a super thanks on this video if you're watching it on demand on YouTube. And that's a way to basically do a super chat, but it's not on a stream, it's on a video. So all of those ways are absolutely great. They support the content and they allow me to do what I love for a living and to implement all of these awesome improvements and changes that I have recently, okay? So thank you so much in advance to anyone who supports this content. You guys are awesome, and thank you so very much, okay? Fair enough? Okay. Alrighty then. So, let's go. This segment, we're now going to do the rundown of some of the stuff that I have gotten to improve everything. So let's talk about it, shall we? So, I have told you guys that recently I upgraded all of my equipment. So, for example, as you can see, I upgraded my keyboard. This is now the Asus ROG or ROG Republic of Gamers Azoth keyboard. Okay? Yes, it has fancy RGBs. That's not why I got it. I got it because it was rated one of the best keyboards for gaming right now for the value for the dollar. There are more modern versions of this. Like, I think there's like a 2.0 version. And when I was reading the reviews, people were basically saying it's more expensive, but doesn't really add any features that are viable for competitive play. Like, it has some extra bells and whistles, but it doesn't really add much. And it is an increase in price, like a price jump. So I just got the Azoth 1 model, okay? And I love it. All the keys have a textured top, which I really like about a keyboard, that it's not a smooth top, but a textured top. They're the clicky style keys, so you get that tactile feeling when you're playing with this keyboard. It has some added features, like, for example, over here it has like an LED screen. Hold on. It has this LED screen here, and you could program this screen to do a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you can actually have it do animations and things. Like, you could have a thumbnail there. You can actually have it play a video loop, which I think is silly. Why do you need that on your keyboard? I just have it do default. It's like the date and time. Not that I would ever use it. But yeah, and it also has this knob. You can use it to do all kinds of things with your PC, like adjust the volume of your PC, adjust RGB settings on your PC, all kinds of stuff, okay? So, basically, it has a lot of features that I don't use. What I bought it for is the response time and the actual control, and I would say it's a very good keyboard for what it is. Is it pricey? Yes. But at the same time, so far, I've loved it. And by the way, you might notice I actually have it plugged in. And you might say, well, I thought that... Oh, hold on. You might say, I thought that it's a wireless keyboard. Here you go. Why is it plugged in? Apparently, it actually has even better response time when plugged in. So I left it, I'm just leaving it plugged in, and it's fine plugged in. It works well. We don't have to worry about recharging the battery or whatever. So there you go. The Asus ROG Azoth, I recommend it. So far, I really like it. I feel like playing on this thing has improved my gameplay of Call of Duty. Okay? So moving on from that basic upgrade, which you guys already knew about. Over here, we have the mouse. And this is my Razer Viper V3 Pro wireless mouse. It is the lightest mouse I have ever used in my life. It is insanely lightweight, which is crazy because it has a very long life battery in it. So I was using it for about 2 weeks and never recharged it, and I just recharged it recently. Okay? I love this thing. This has the best response time of any mouse I've ever used. It absolutely controls very precisely, and I've been getting shots I've never gotten before in Call of Duty using this just for a couple sessions. So if you want, it's a good mouse because the thing is, it's not overpriced. Like, there are other mice like this that are they claim they're better models, okay? But they're more expensive. This one is supposed to be the best value for the dollar with the level of control that it has. I also do like that it's a longer mouse. It allows me to have better control of the mouse. I had a smaller one. I had this one, which is the Hero mouse from Logitech, and it's a little heavier, but it's a little too small, I feel, for competitive play. Like, I was using it, and I didn't really like it as much. I definitely like the Razer mouse better. It just feels like just better control, okay? So those are the basic two peripherals that I have been using for gameplay recently. But actually, what I wanted to show you is that I have been doing some attempts at finding the right things to use with these peripherals. And one of the hardest things I think to figure out right now is what is the best way to go about having a Wrist-Wrest when you are going to be playing games online. Because there's a lot of options, all right? Like, there's a ton of options, all right? So to give you an example of some of the things that I've tested and have used, for the last year, I was actually using this thing, okay? This is, simply put, memory foam. that's shaped like clouds, okay? It looks nice, right? It's aesthetically pleasing. And here, if I put it in my setup, right? It actually looks kind of nice. It pops on camera. You can even see, you know, look here on this camera here. It shows up nice on camera, does it not? And so it's been aesthetically pleasing. However, to be very honest with everyone, it's not very good for actual support. Okay? I just don't really like it. It's all right. It's soft. And I would say when you're typing, like if you're typing on your keyboard, it's fine. But the moment that you go to play games, it's just not sufficient. It kind of feels a little sticky. Like when sweat starts to come out of your wrist and it gets on there, it just doesn't feel very comfortable. And it doesn't give you the level of support that you're really looking for when you're doing competitive gaming. So I've had this for like a year and I've been using it. And to be honest, I don't really like it. Okay, like it's just kind of, it was good looking, but I don't recommend. This is aesthetically good. Or if you're only using your keyboard for typing, maybe I would recommend it. But I would not recommend this as like a gaming Wrist-Wrest, okay? So you can just take this and you can just throw it in the trash. All right, don't do that. If you have it, don't throw it in the trash. But what I've been doing is I've been testing various other rests to try to figure out like what's good that could be used for competitive gaming. All right, and I've tested a bunch now, and I wanted to kind of run you through all the different types that exist because there's a ridiculous amount of ones that exist, okay? So this is shaped memory foam, and you can get memory foam of so many different kinds. You can get ones that look like clouds, ones that look all fancy and stuff. All right, they're all pretty much the same, unless you go for one of the name brand like gaming level ones. This is not that. This is more just a generic, you know, look, memory foam. You could squish it or whatever, but you know, there's nothing special to it. You get one that's just black and it's generic. You get ones that are like gel, but they all are basically feeling exactly the same. All right. So I tried some different ones, and the one that I tried recently that I was looking online, and everyone swore that this was like really good, is this one. This is made of wood, and I think it's called Glorious, the Glorious Wooden Wrist-Wrest. Okay? So it's literally a solid piece of wood that's been molded into a particular shape. As you can see, it's not perfectly flat. It has an incline that your wrists sit on. Okay? And they painted it with this kind of like lacquer paint. So it's supposed to be like smooth on your skin. It looks nice. I'm not going to lie. On the bottom, it's got rubber feet. So basically it sticks to your desktop and it allows you to have support. And a lot of people swore by this and said, this is so good. It really is supportive. I tried everything else. It doesn't work. I swear by this Glorious Wrist-Wrest. It's so good. And, you know, they swear by it so much, they make it in all different sizes. In fact, here's another one for mouse size. So, yeah, you know, you can do it for your mouse. You do it for your keyboard. All right. So there you go. So I used it. What did I think? I don't like it. In fact, you can actually see why. Are you taking a look at the top of it right now? Do you notice something? Do you see something on the top of the wood right there? You see that it looks like almost like spots, right? So here's what I found is the problem with this keyboard, with this Wrist-Wrest, okay? When you go to use it, at first it's actually very comfortable. And in fact, it gives you good support as you're typing or even if you're gaming, you know, with it. So it's good initially. Within about an hour of using it, your wrist starts to sweat because that's just what happens. When skin is touching something, it starts to sweat. And when your wrist starts to sweat, all of a sudden, moisture accumulates on the wood, and immediately you notice your wrist is starting to stick to the wood, which is very uncomfortable. You don't want your wrist to start sticking to it, right? So, in reality, initially it's good, but the moment that things start to get heated in a game, it's not comfortable at all. And as you can see, what ended up happening was it actually started making sticky spots on the wood, which you can visibly see on it. So, yeah, of course you can clean it, but the whole idea is you're not actually supposed to have that happen. like you're trying to have a comfortable gaming experience, what I could say is maybe if you're just typing, much like with these memory foam wrist rests, if you're just typing, perhaps it's good. Okay? But when you're actually gaming and you're actively trying to do stuff, quickly with your wrist, you're going to have some friction against this. You're going to have some sweat, and it's really not built for that. So as many people as recommended this online, I guarantee you none of them game. They're probably just people typing, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I don't recommend this at all for people who game, but maybe it's comfortable if you're just typing or maybe an office setting. And it does look nice. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's really nice looking, but I just don't see spending the money on it when it's going to be sweaty and sticky the moment that you get into something serious. Okay? So I bought the set, and I'm probably never going to use them because I really don't like them after having tested them. Okay? So there you go. All right? So there are other kinds of wrist rests as well. Okay? There's two currently that I actually really like that I want to recommend to you. And then actually what I'm going to do is also I'm going to show you that I tested a bunch for the mouse as well, because I have some discoveries there to show you. So there's two wrist rests that I'm currently using. Okay? This rest is the one that I'm currently using over here. I just accidentally closed my app. Hold on. I didn't mute the music, did I? No, I just accidentally minimized it. So this is the wrist rest that I'm currently using over here for typing and updating the leaderboard and doing things on my capture and streaming PC. This is an insanely simple wrist rest. I'm going to show you what it is. Ready? It's silicone. And it's a hexagon silicone wrist rest. It's rubberized. And the thing is, it's very soft on the top. Unlike the wooden wrist rest, where it's a hard lacquered surface and it basically builds up like sweat, this one does not. This one is actually very soft to the touch, and I feel like this kind of silicone material is basically meant to give you support, but also not make you sweat. Just whatever, materials in the silicone, it feels good. It's smooth, and I've been using this now for a couple of days, and it hasn't really given me that level of discomfort that the wood did at all. And actually, it's pretty good for both typing and gaming. Okay, this particular brand, I think is it KC-Tron? I can't really read it. Keychron. That's what it is. Keychron. Keychron. Okay, I do recommend this. The best part about this, it's cheap. This is less than $20. And you can get it in all different sizes. This particular size is for like 10 keyless keyboards. See, it fits this one like perfectly. And it is at an incline, for the record, just like the wood was. See, there's an incline. And you could place it however you want, like right up to the keyboard, or you could place it slightly back, either whatever feels more comfortable to you. And because it is silicone, it sticks nicely to whatever surface you have it on. You don't need to have like feet on the bottom like this has. This one just naturally sticks because it's made of silicone. Excuse me, not silicone, silicone. All right? So I do recommend that one, okay? Now, if you want to go like a step up from that, the one that I'm using right now that I actually think is the best one that I have is this one right here. This one is called the HyperX. You can see it says right on it. HyperX Cooling Foam Wrist Rest. This one also has a rubberized bottom, so it sticks to, whatever surface that you want to have it on, okay? It's very lightweight, and it has a cooling gel on the inside, okay? And it's a very stretchy, smooth top. You see how stretchy that material is? So the thing that I like about this one is when you put your wrist on it, it feels like your wrist is going into a pillow. It really does. It feels like it's sinking in, and it's incredibly comfortable. It's also cooling gel, meaning, I'm not kidding, it feels cool to the touch as you use it. I used this all last night for Call of Duty. It was the best wrist rest I've ever used for anything in my life. It was incredibly comfortable. It was cooling to the touch. I never even built up a sweat on my wrist, which normally I did on the others. This one never built up any sweat because it's a fabric on top but cooling gel underneath. It was so good. This 100% I recommend. Now, I'm sure there's other brands as well. I just happen to buy the HyperX one. But this is probably, out of all these I tested, the best one I've ever used. So this is my top-of-the-line pick right now. Now, I do have one more I'm going to test. It just was on back order, and it's not showing up until later this week. So when I get that one, I might give you my opinion on that one, too. That's also like an official gaming peripheral brand that I want to try. But definitely, I love the HyperX Wrist-Wrest. Okay? There you go. Now, in regards to mice Wrist-Wrest, this is a little bit different. And the reason I say that is because unlike the keyboard, okay, when you're using a mouse to game, you need something that's going to give you support, but also needs to be kind of maneuverable. Because think about it. As you're playing with this mouse, you're moving it all over your desk, you basically need to have something that's going to move with it. Because if not, then you have to reposition. And I've definitely seen that be an issue. So I have a whole bunch of different ones that I tried for the mouse. As I already explained, I did try the wood. And although the wood does give some really solid support, it just got sticky. As I started playing, I was like, oh, I don't like that. It's just sticking too much. So I ended up not liking the wood whatsoever. Okay? So first off, the most basic one you can even get for a mouse is literally this. It's a bag of beads. All right? You can get this anywhere. You can get this at an office store. You could buy it on Amazon. It's probably under 20 bucks. I think this one I got at like Office Depot for like 12 bucks or 15 bucks or something like that, okay? To be honest with you, this is really good. This is actually really comfortable, okay? Usually it has an ability to like stick. Some of them come with like a rubberized bottom, some don't. This one particularly didn't. But you just put your hand right on it. That's not bad at all. It's very comfy. It's like having a pillow under your wrist and, you know, pretty maneuverable. However, the problem with this Wrist-Wrest, I know because I've used these before, okay? The problem with this Wrist-Wrest is very simple. It's not durable at all, all right? This particular Wrist-Wrest will wear out quickly. What ends up happening is when you put your hand on this every day, just naturally sweat and skin start to sink into it, all right? Absorb into it, literally, because it's just cloth and beads. So within like a month or two, this will already start to discolor, and actually it'll start to wear out, and it won't be as effective or as good. And I've had these many times, and if you're going to use this, it's a good option, but you have to keep buying them. Like every 2-3 months, you end up having to like buy a new one. If you're okay with that, great. But, you know, most people don't want to have to buy a Wrist-Wrest every few months. They just want to have something that's going to last for a long time. So I wouldn't recommend this. This is like a good short-term solution, but it's definitely not something for lengthy gameplay or something you're going to have in your setup forever. You're going to have to keep replacing it, okay? So I recommend it. I do like it, and it's a very viable solution. It just doesn't last, all right? Now, they're pretty, you know, versatile options when it comes to mouse Wrist-Wrest. I've seen a bunch, okay? One kind would be just standard memory foam. Again, you've seen the cloud. I didn't pull it out of the closet, but I had one that looked just like this. That's a cloud. That's for the mouse instead of just the one for the keyboard. It's pretty much exactly the same situation. It'll give you some support, but sadly, it's not good enough for competitive gaming. Your wrist starts to get uncomfortable. And also, here's another thing, particularly with the mouse, okay? When you start to use it for extended periods of time, it flattens and it's not giving you the support anymore. So it'll work for like an hour, and after an hour, all of a sudden you'll notice, oh, it's not supportive anymore. It's because you flattened it. And the memory foam doesn't have a chance to come back up because you keep using it, so it's not as good. So I don't recommend the basic memory foams ones. The memory foam ones are just not very good for gaming, again, in my opinion. Okay, they're good for typing, not for gaming. I wouldn't recommend one of the memory foams for the mouse, okay? So what about other options? Well, for example, what about something like this? This one is also known as cooling gel. This is Brila is the company that makes this one. I got it off Amazon. And it's a contoured design. As you can see, it almost looks like two butt cheeks, right? It's like the butt cheeks rest. It's rubberized on the bottom, so it sticks in place. Or not rubberized, has that like silicone like shine to it, so it sticks in place. It's comfortable, okay? It is comfortable, and because it has this gel, this cooling gel, your wrist actually will not feel like warm or sticky, okay? However, after using it for a while, I didn't like the level of support it gave my wrist. I felt like it wasn't supporting my wrist enough. And actually, after using this for like a half an hour, my wrist actually started to get sore. So even though it seems comfy, it doesn't give the level of support as this HyperX. And in fact, just to give you a comparison, there's the HyperX. Do you see? The HyperX is like almost twice as thick as this mouse Wrist-Wrest. So that's why the HyperX just gives you way more support. It's just much better. So that is a better product, in my opinion, while this one is just kind of flat and it doesn't really do that much. All right. So honestly, I didn't really like that one. Okay. I was looking then after that for ones that were more contoured, and I got a product here. And to be honest, I forgot what the name of it is, and I looked and it doesn't even have a name on it. Okay. But this one is an actual contoured memory foam Wrist-Wrest. And the way this one is built is that it's actually supposed to fit your actual wrist design. It's supposed to be ergonomic so that you can actually game with it and it will not give you pain and actually supports circulation in your wrist. Okay? So this one, I actually found, did give me way more support when I was gaming. All right? However, again, it wasn't perfect. Okay? It just wasn't. It was kind of like I wanted the game, and as I was doing it, all of a sudden I wanted to move. This one kind of like sticks in place the way that it works because it actually has rubberized bottoms again. And because it kind of sticks in place, you can't really adjust it. Like you're playing, you're like, oh, I need to readjust, and we get stuck. You're like, oh, crap. And it wasn't that good for fast move. Like, let's say someone was running in the room with Call of Duty and you need to adjust your shot on the fly really fast. You go, oh, let me go. Oh, my wrist is stuck. And then you couldn't get your shot. So even though this one is more ergonomic and it's comfy for your wrist, I would recommend this as someone who's at a desk all day working in an office and absolutely needs to have good support and you don't want your wrist to get sore. But this is not good for gaming because it doesn't really move for shots, okay? So after all of this, all right, you may say, oh my God, so did you ever find a good one for the mouse? Like you just showed us like 4 different ones. I did. All right. And this, I swear to you, this is not a product placement. This is not me getting paid. This is not a plug at all. I saw this one and I was like, I can't believe this would work because it looked silly to me. All right. This is called the Delta Carpio 2.0. Delta Carpio, Carpio 2.0. All right. You might say, what the hell is that? What is it? It looks like a mouth guard or something. Dentures, right? You're right. It does look weird, doesn't it? Okay? I'm going to show you what this is. On one side, the top, this is very soft and rubberized. This is meant to touch your skin, and it's designed to be very comfortable, especially in gaming situations where maybe you have a sweaty wrist. It's actually meant to handle that. But on the bottom, it is actually a very shiny plastic. I'm trying to get the camera to catch it, but it's not really catching it right now. Yeah, it's really not. Basically, on the bottom, it's almost like, how can I say, laminated? Oh, you can see it now. There, see, it's shiny. The bottom is shiny and laminated. So here's what happens. As long as you're using a mouse pad or a desk mat, which I'm using, and actually I'm going to talk about the desk mat in a minute too, because I recommend that. You put your hand down on top, just like this. Get your hand on your gaming mouse. And now for standard gameplay, you're like this, but if you need to move, it moves with your hand. It actually glides naturally all over your desk. And unlike some of the other mouse Wrist-Wrests, it feels natural and it's incredibly lightweight and it moves everywhere you need it to be. All right? It's insanely comfortable. At first, you might think, no, it's not. That looks silly, right? No, I'm not kidding. It's insanely comfortable. It's ridiculously comfortable. I used it last night for Call of Duty. I had zero pain in my wrist. My wrist never sweat. That's another thing because of its design, because it has this space between. Your wrist won't actually sweat using this thing. Okay? And I was able to get very fast, quick shots in Black Ops 7 last night using this thing. And it was like the best I've ever had. However, the catch is you need to be using a pad. It needs to have a fabric under it because this lacquered like bottom, this like laminated bottom, needs to be on a smooth surface to glide around like that, and it glides perfectly on this surface. But if you were just using it on like a desk, like wood, it probably will stick. So you've got to get a mat to use it on. But if you do, this is super good. Okay? Super good. No exaggeration. I absolutely loved using it last night and was very pleased because it's not cheap. If I remember, this is like $40 or 30 something. Seriously, this piece of plastic is like 30 something dollars. But man, from that initial session of using it last night, I absolutely loved it. I felt like it was like ideal for the gaming situation. So it's, designed to fit a wrist. It's designed to scoot around, and it works great. Okay, so that's something, again, that's the Delta Carpio 2.0, I think it's called. I absolutely love it. So after testing all of these different things, beads, yeah, they're good, but they wear out. Memory foam, it's just not good for support for gaming, in my opinion. Wood, well, it's supported, but the problem is you sweat when you use it, and your wrist sticks to it, and now it's crappy, and it's sticky. It's not very good. What about ergonomics? Well, ergonomics work, except they don't move, because it's meant to stick to the surface. I recommend this guy. That's the best thing right now for gaming mice, in my opinion. And I'll let you know, obviously, as I use it more, my thoughts, if they change or whatever. But I think that's amazing. Like, seriously. And then, and one other recommendation, because you can see it now. Basically, I got full-sized desk mats for both of my sides of my L-shaped desk here. These desk mats are awesome, okay? The one that I'm using now, it's the Corsair XXL desk mat. And as you can see, it goes all the way to the edge of my desk. It covers all the way, I'll show you, all the way down, all the way across, all the way this way. See how long it is? We're still going. It actually goes underneath, and my camera won't even go far enough to show you how long it goes, but it goes further. This is actually my monitor mount here. It goes past that. It actually has my Yeti mic here. It has my Roland bridge cast. This thing is huge, okay? I love it because it's cushioned, so you can use it as, say, a coaster. Like, I have my drinks and stuff. Like, watch. Here's my thermos. Perfect. I put mugs there. I put everything on it. It's great. Also, it's water resistant. Meaning, for example, if I were to spill something on here, it does not absorb. It beads on top. So if you're drinking and you have a spill, you have time to go grab the paper towels and dab it up before it soaks all over your setup. You're shooting a regular desk, you spill something, you got a huge mess on your hands. This allows you to clean quickly. Okay? So, I strongly recommend it. It basically eliminates the need ever for a mouse pad. Also, it allows keyboards and things to stick securely. All right, I love that. And it's cushioned. It looks nice. Like, this particular model is one that has a design on it, but you can get them usually in all kinds of different designs. As you can see, this one's supposed to look like metal, but it actually has the Corsair, logo here. As you can see, it's on my chair. Well, it's also on the pad there. Okay? So, pretty cool. All right? Hopefully, me going through all this stuff for the last half hour, if you're someone who's building an office and you're looking for a setup and you have questions, hopefully this will help answer those questions, because this is stuff that I figured out, on my own. There's not a lot of information out there about this. There's people who review them against each other, but I've never really seen the in-depth analysis I just gave. Instead, it's just kind of like, it was comfy and cooling, 7 out of 10 or whatever. But I wanted to give you a breakdown of all the stuff that I've been testing to let you know exactly what I think about all of it. Okay? So, there you go. Hopefully that'll help you, especially, again, if you're someone like me who maybe you don't upgrade often. And then when you're going to do it, you want to do it all in one fell swoop like I've been doing over the last month. So hopefully some of this information helps you to make some informed decisions on some of this stuff. Okay? To be honest, I don't get this at all. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Oh, it looks nice, And even the logo is like a bearded man. Like, oh, look, a man of the forest who made his wrist-wrest out of wood. Well, good for you. But did you actually use it? Because when you use it, it gets all sticky and not comfortable. Like, why would I want to use this? You can even see this. You can see it. Look. You can see the smudges from having your skin on it. And you know that what's going to happen is after you use it, you're going to wear the stain off the wood because you're rubbing it with skin every day. There's going to be oils and sweat and things on there. I just don't understand it. Everyone swore to it online. I get it. I'm like, oh, I just don't like it at all. But anyway, hopefully that helps you guys. All right, if it doesn't, it's fine. But I wanted to do a segment on it because I've been doing all this research. So now I've officially reviewed tech in the USA. There you go. I'm curious what you guys thought of that segment, if you enjoyed it or not. If you liked it, would you like me to share more knowledge of things that I'm testing and trying out as I test and try out more things? Or did you not get that segment and you're incredibly frustrated that I would try something different? How dare you, Phil? You know, why did you do that? Why did you do that segment, right? I figured I would do something a little different, right? For the podcast, have a different kind of segment, actually review some stuff. What do you think? The last thing should be my sign off, so I should also say, so that is me reviewing some tech right here in the USA. There you go. Okay, amazing. Can we see the other stuff too? Like what? You've already seen all the other stuff because I've already used it or shown it off when I was setting it all up. Like these headphones, these are the Audio-Technica headphones. I showed you when I got them. I unboxed them live. That was on a previous show. Pringles fan likes it. He says, I spend all day in front of computers. It was good to see your setup. The villain says, my mouse wrist-rest is already starting to sink in, but it was only $5.95. Exactly. I'm good, Big Mac. How are you today? Can I review my selfie stick? Well, the thing is, I haven't really used it yet. You know, when I actually get a chance to use this, you know, somewhere on the go and make content with it, I would probably review it. I like the idea that it's not just a selfie stick, but it's actually a tripod too. See, it like pops open. And then it folds up and it becomes a tripod that you can now mount your phone to and put it on a table and you can film. But then also, obviously, you can put it together as a selfie stick. It has a remote control so you can remotely stop and start recording on here. I like it. I haven't used it for anything yet. I'm likely going to use it for things this year coming up, but just haven't really had a chance to plan anything out yet. But I'll have to think about it. Think about some stuff that maybe I want to do this year to test out the new tech. You know, it's not only the selfie stick, but it's also the Rode wireless mics that we did test, and they do work with my setup. So if I want to, I can actually use these here, and I'm thinking, coming up, an idea that we could maybe use is when I do Legos, because we said we're going to build that Super Mario World Lego at some point. Don't know when yet. We haven't planned it yet. But when we start to build that Lego set, maybe I can use that wireless mic and attach it to my collar, so that way I could be over here building, and you could still hear me fully. It wouldn't have to be arranged the mics in my mouth, but instead you could hear me as I do it, right? That could be a good utilization of that. Okay? Cool. How much did I pay roughly for all the wrist supporters? About $4,000. Only about $4K invested into Wrist-Wrest for this part of the segment. So hopefully we get a lot of good support on this stream, because I got to try to make the money back of the $4,000 that I invested buying all these Wrist-Rests. So, give me back my Twitter, did a $5 super chat, and he said, Philip the Mark Burnell, if you make a worthless statue or add a face to a shirt, he'll overpay. Add the word gamer or performance and he'll buy too. In what universe is that the case? What gamer shirt or statue have I bought in the last 10 years? Actually, I cold stopped buying statues and actual gamer shirts when I moved out here in 2014. It's been over 11 years. Anyway, thanks for $5. There you go. Okay, and let's see here. Someone tipped $1.50, says, do you feel like spending over $300 on Wrist-Rest? I didn't spend over $300 on Wrist-Rest. I did spend money, but it wasn't over $300. It's a nice gross exaggeration. Is worth it. Don't you know that you're supposed to not use a wrist rest so you can build up your natural wrist strength? Do I even bother? Or no, you know what? Thanks for $1.50. I appreciate that. Thanks for $1.50. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to bother. There's no point, right? I don't know why I try, because if I open my mouth and I say something intelligent, no one cares anyway. But thanks for $1.50. Okay. All right. Well, so that's what I got for you today here on the show. Okay, so again, I would love feedback. Did you like that segment? Do you like segments like that? Would you like to see me do more of that in the future? If I buy a new peripheral or a new thing that I'm testing for my set or my studio, would you like to know about it? Would you like to hear the stats and let me know about my experience with it? Or did you absolutely hate that and instead you just want to sit here and complain and say everything that I do in my content is bad? Anyway, you notice this time I just did it. Instead of actually presenting the idea ahead of time, like, gee, maybe I'll review some colognes. And then the entire internet says, wow, that's a bad idea. I just did it anyway. I said, fuck this. So we'll see now if you guys liked it or not, okay? Anyway, what I'd like to do for the rest of the show is open it up to Q&A. So if you're here live, please tag me in either chat. Let's see what you guys want to talk about this morning before we adjourn the show and then we get set up for Arc Raiders. Let's see what's on everyone's mind. Is there something I need to know about? Anything in the news that I missed? I've been looking. I haven't really seen much to talk about in gaming news or anything recently, which is why I haven't really been talking about it, right? You did like the segment? I'm glad to hear that you liked the segment. A few people are saying they liked it. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Cool. You love the game over sign? I'm glad. Thank you. I've had it for a long time now. Several years. Will I show you my footrest? No, not now. We're done with that segment. We're not reviewing anything else for the rest of the day. You're Not Funny says, can I make a suggestion? Can you try covering current events like Aspen Gold? You have nothing to lose. I mean, I could. That's more... I mean, the thing is, if you just cover current events in general, it wouldn't necessarily be a politics show, because a politics show has to always be about political and culture war stuff. Just covering the news is just talking about current events or whatever. That's a little different, right? It could be anything. It could be pop culture. It could be, you know, serious stuff like politics. It could be anything. I don't know if people really want that from me. Like I said, I think a lot of people come to DSP Gaming to escape from all the drama of real life. They don't want to hear about all the news about America capturing the Venezuelan president for 2 straight days and then come to DSP Gaming and now Phil is talking about America capturing the Venezuelan president. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're here to unplug from that crap and say, hey, let's just enjoy games and enjoy each other's company and chill. So that's kind of a problem, is if I just do what everyone else does, I'm just inundating you with all the other crap that everyone else already inundates you with. Is that really what you want? J-Man says, I don't have any questions. I just want to say hello and tell you I'm excited for Street Fighter 6. Sounds good. Thank you, J-Man. Nothing here says, is it just me or are there no exciting titles coming out for the Switch 2 in 2026? I don't think there are. Do we even know of any? I went through the game release schedule, right? Hold on. We went through the game release schedule for 2026 during Christmas. Okay? Taking a look. Let's see. Code Violet, Pathologic 3, Quarantine Zone The Last Check, Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined, Deus Ex Remastered, Mugenics, Mario Tennis Fever, okay. Yakuza 3 Kiwami, Virtual Boy, okay. The Virtual Boy stuff. Styx Blade of Greed, Resident Evil Requiem, Pokemon Pocopia. There you go. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, Mouse PI for Hire, Crimson Desert, Screamer, Pragmata, Invincible Versus, Saros, 007 First Light, Lego Batman Legacy of Dark Knight, Halloween, Phantom Blade Zero, Replicat, and Grand Theft Auto 6. Out of those, 3 are Switch games, right? So we've got, let's see here. Mario Tennis Fever, we've got the Virtual Boy stuff, and we've got Pokemon Pocopia. So there are some Switch games coming out. The question is, are any of those high profile enough that you even care? Like, Mario Tennis is a very niche game. Not everyone likes Mario Tennis. I've played one of them, and I was like, it was kind of difficult for me because I never played them before. Didn't really like it that much. It was a very arduous task to get through the campaign. I'm actually very interested in the Virtual Boy stuff. If you don't know, in February, they are going to be doing a Virtual Boy emulation on Switch 2, where basically you can play all of those old virtual games on the Switch 2 now. The thing is, in order to play them, apparently you need to have like a peripheral. In one case, they're just going to give you a cardboard box where you put your Switch 2 inside of the box and put it on your head. But in the other case, there's an actual piece of hardware, supposedly. It's like an actual Virtual Boy thing, and you plug your Switch 2 into it, and that should have HDMI out so you can capture from it. And if I can get my hands on that, I'd be very interested in going through the entire Virtual Boy library with all of you. Imagine me sitting here having this thing on my head, right here on my desk, playing it, and the camera's on me while I'm playing, and you get to see me play Virtual Boy games. I think that would be highly entertaining. It also would probably give me a headache because the Virtual Boy was infamous for giving everyone headaches within 10 minutes. Like, no lie, it was horrible. I played it at Blockbuster Video back in the day. They had a demo unit, and I played 2 games. I played the tennis, and I played the Wario 2D platformer game. Both of them gave me a splitting headache within 10 minutes. Like, I was like, oh. My parents went off to get movies. They came back, and they said, what do you think of that? I was like, oh. And I can't even think straight. I was like, supposed to go pick out movies or games. I couldn't even think. My head's throbbing. So anyway, I think that would be pretty fun to try out the Virtual Boy stuff in February. Outside of that, maybe the Pokopia, because Pokopia is like basically Animal Crossing with Pokemon, and that could maybe be fascinating. I don't know. Like, could we implement like the crowd that likes Pokemon? Would they come for Pokopia to hang out and actually see like Animal Crossing and Pokemon together? Right? I don't know. I don't even know what the Game Boy is going to be like. What the game is going to be like. If it's going to be more of a sim or if there'll actually be like Pokemon elements to it, I just don't know. So I guess we'll have to see when it comes out. But it's true, out of all that stuff that we just talked about, are any of those big games? No, not at all. So really, Switch 2 has nothing this year, at least for now. But we know that Nintendo is infamous. They'll announce something only a few months ahead of time. So very well, there could be big stuff in the pipeline. We just don't know yet. Okay? Okay. I should eat the wooden Wrist-Wrest for DSP tries it. That's disgusting, dangerous. I'm not doing that. How dare you suggest it? What's up, Dungeon Keeper's Mistress? How are you today? There's a Yoshi game coming out this year? Oh, I didn't even know that. Samus GTA says, honest question. I follow you on X. Why do you bother using the platform when all your replies are trolls? Oh, I don't see any replies. Years ago, all right, X implemented this thing. I think it was before they were even X. I think it was when they were still Twitter. They implemented this feature. And it basically, it actually, I'm not kidding, it prompted me one day when I was tweeting. It said, we have noticed an incredible amount of harassment on your timeline. Do you want to institute this feature that turns off that content? So basically, you're able to see replies, but only replies that aren't flagged as toxic. So it looks for keywords like swears and stuff like that. So I'm not exaggerating. Right now I'll post up on my X, okay? And I will see if someone likes, if someone retweets, and if someone responds. But the responses, I'm not kidding, I see like barely any. Almost never. Like right now, I have a tweet from the other day that has like 400 likes. I know it has a ton of responses. I think I've seen 3. Because it literally, it's just like the YouTube comment system. It files all of the abusive responses away, and I can't see any of them. So all I see on X is people who actively want to actually engage in a positive way, not shitbags. So every single person who responds to me on X, I've never seen it. It's only people who are nice. People who are mean, I never see. So they just think about that. All these years, probably 3-4 years, these idiots have wasted all their time sending abusive responses to me. I've never seen one of them. I can't. I actually have no ability to see them. And in truth, I don't even know how to turn it off. Like, I've looked for the feature. I can't find it anymore. I think when Musk bought Twitter and renamed it X, I think he, like, removed it, but it's still on. So, like, I can't turn it off even if I wanted to. I can't find the feature anywhere, but it's on. That's pretty funny. So yeah, so that's the truth. Like, I don't hear or see any of the toxic shit. I don't need to. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't benefit me at all. You know, it's all harassment and trolling online anyway. None of it means anything. None of it's constructive. It's always just shitbags, you know, saying awful, you know, terrible things. There's no point to ever seeing any of it or responding to it. It's the same as YouTube comments. When you have, you know, 100 idiots who try to respond to everything I ever post on YouTube in a toxic way, who needs to see that shit? YouTube just filters it out. So I never see it on X. So that's why. And on X, to be honest, I like posting my schedule up there. It's a better way to get it out there rather than just the post tab of my YouTube page. And every once in a while, there's something that I have to say or something important, and I want to have a better way to air it out than just posting it on my YouTube, and X is the way to do it. All you idiots in chat, and of course it's all in the kick chat saying I'm lying. You're all complete mouth drooling idiots. No one's lying. I'm serious. Like, my timeline's empty. I'll post something up. It'll say I have 400 likes. Like this post I made the other day. It says I have 400 likes on it, and it says I have no responses. Like, I can't even see them. Like, okay. That's even dumber. This person says, you delete all the comments. You actually think I sit on my YouTube actively deleting comments? Are you insane? YouTube has a moderation system. It auto-moderates all the comments. So anything you see on my YouTube channel has already passed the filter. And there's a whole bunch of comments that sit in a queue for me to eventually look at and review. And I do probably like a couple times a week. I'll look at that and I'll approve or disapprove. But for the most part, it's all AI control. I don't do any of that. Will I play Marathon in March? It's like Arc Raiders. I don't know. It certainly doesn't look very good. But I guess we'll see as we get closer to it what happens. Seems like the feedback on Marathon has been very, very bad. People do not like it. How am I blocking people on X then? How do you know to block them if you don't see the messages? What do you mean? First of all, you can't block anyone on X. It doesn't work. If you block someone on X, all that happens is you don't see their comments, but they could still comment. Like, Musk changed that, a year or two ago? So, there's basically, you can't do anything with it. You can't actively block anyone. All it means is that you'll never see their comment again. But they can still comment. It doesn't prevent them from seeing your posts or commenting on them. So, yeah, it doesn't. The feature doesn't even work. What? This is hilarious. This guy did a $5 super chat. Listen to this. Do you forget that you showed us your Twitter last year and POAT, P-O-A-T, you did with Allnoff the comments, ha 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 ha, busted. You showed us your Twitter last year and POAT you did with Allnoff the comments, ha 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 ha, busted. Man, it's really hard to figure out how I've survived 17 years with this level of opposition, isn't it? Just be sure that your mom puts on your Velcro shoes properly before you leave the house today, okay? We wouldn't want you falling over and, landing on your head. Anyway. A $2 super chat. It says, you can't understand. No, I can't understand that. You type like you can't even formulate a sentence. And yet you're still giving me money to make fun of you more. Please continue. Like, holy moly. Mission Vow says, I like that you just gave some honest reviews on stuff you were using, and you've had a long enough time to give a deep review of it. It's kind of refreshing amidst all these shilling YouTubers. I mean, most YouTubers don't review anything. They're not reviews. What it is it's called, they receive the product for free, and then they have to plug it, or they have like a referral code for it. So obviously they're never going to say the product's bad, right? Never. They're just going to say like the product is good. So, yeah, I don't do that at all. Everything that I do, I bought. You know what I'm saying? Everything I have, I purchased of my own money. That way I can review it and test it fairly. Big Mac. Oh, Big Mac, yes. You haven't been around for a few days. The PayPal link is refreshed. Use the tips link. You'll get a new PayPal link. That's my new tips link moving forward. So, yeah, because people were trying to tip me earlier in the week, and also they were having issues. You have to use the new link if you're going to tip me. Okay? Cool. Am I going to name that segment? DSP reviews it? No, I don't know what I'm going to call it. I like doing it, but the thing is I can't do it all the time. I need to have stuff I'm reviewing. You know what I mean? Like, for example, coming up later this year, there's some interesting things coming out, like that new Steam controller. I might buy it, unbox it on a stream, and then actually use it over the course of weeks, and then do a segment like that on my show where I review it after having used it for weeks, you know? We'll have to see. Do. Oh, that's very common. Joel says there was a point even top streamers were getting Fortnite fatigue years ago, but they kept playing it anyway. That's very common. That happens in every single game genre. For example, it's been happening. Hold on. Excuse me. It's been happening very frequently in the Street Fighter community. People in the competitive Street Fighter community are very tired of Street Fighter 6 right now. I mean, the game's been out over 2 years, and they can't stop playing it. Why? Because there's nothing else to play. Capcom isn't making any more fighting games, and they don't play other ones, so they're forced to play Street Fighter 6. And it's when you find something that's profitable, all right, and especially something where you know you can bring in views or make money on it, these streamers sadly tend to not be very honest, you know? They'll say a game is good that they know is not, or they know is played out or boring, but they still keep playing it anyway because it brings in attention, it brings in engagement, and it brings in support, you know? That's sad. I'm happy and lucky, quite frankly, I'm lucky that many years ago when I became a creator and I decided that I was going to do it for a living, I made the distinct decision at that point I was not going to only do one genre of game, okay? And the truth is that I had big opportunity to do that. Some of my most viewed videos were actually my Street Fighter videos. Me playing Street Fighter 4, Super Turbo HD Remix, and others. Because there were other fighting games out at the time. But my fighting game stuff was very popular. Like, no exaggeration, I would sit down for 3 hours to play Street Fighter. I would put out 30, 40 videos, and each video was getting 5,000 views. So do the math. I'm not kidding. I was making, like, insane views playing Street Fighter back in the day. It was printing money for me, to be honest. But I said, I had the foresight, okay, to take a look and to say, you know, I have a strong feeling that something will change. This will not always be this prominent or this popular. And rather than just have myself be known for one thing, I want to try to be a jack of all trades. And I know being a jack of all trades means that I'm never going to be a master of any of them. Because I'm going to always be pulling my time in a million directions, right? But the truth is, that has saved me. That has allowed me to stay relevant with a wider viewer base. If I was only fighting games, then I can only play fighting games. And when fighting games are at a high, great. But what if they're stagnant? What if things aren't going well for fighting games like what's happening right now, both with Tekken and Street Fighter? Well, now, what content are you going to put out? Garbage? Shovelware nonsense? You know? Other thing is, if you are only one genre, it basically means that you have to follow that genre all the way. Meaning, if I was a competitive Street Fighter player, I'd have to now go to EVO and go to tournaments and travel all the time. I can't just be here and have a life. Instead, I have to be this world fucking traveler in order to actually cover Street Fighter. If you're a variety guy, you could just cover variety from your house because there's always something new to cover. You don't have to travel to do the nuances of the genre that you're covering, you see? So, I've definitely enjoyed being a variety creator. I think that it has essentially saved me and kept me pertinent. Here's the thing, too, and I've always said this. When I stream, I have a different audience for each kind of game that I play. When I'm doing a podcast, I have a certain audience. When I start playing Arc Raiders, I'll have an audience. When I play RimWorld later tonight, that's a different audience. When I play Call of Duty, that's a different audience. And when I play Street Fighter on Friday, that's a different audience. Now, there is some crossover, but in reality, even though you might say, Phil only has like 300 viewers. No, I have 300 viewers for that content. Then I have 300 viewers for more content. And then another 300 viewers for this other content. Add it all up and come to find out, I have thousands of viewers a week, unique viewers, who only show up for the content that they like. You see? The Street Fighter gamer, the FPS gamer, the Fortnite gamer, they have the one audience for the one game, and the moment that they step away and don't play it, no one gives a shit. They are stuck making that one kind of content forever, because that's what they've been established doing, and they then are in a rut if there's a downturn in that industry or that trend or that genre. There are a few exceptions. Like, I'll give you a good example here. Maximilian, dude, is someone who started heavily in the fighting games, but he branched out, and now, even though he's known mostly for fighting games, he has done a tremendous amount of variety content that is very successful. He did it right, but most creators don't. They just stick in their lane, and since they just stay right there, they can never, ever branch out or do anything else. No one cares. So I'm happy that I ended up doing variety. In fact, this person just said, fact, you would have never gotten an Asmongold interview if you were just in the fighting game community. You're right. Never. He wouldn't have cared. He doesn't care about the FGC. But me having the variety appeal I've had, the interactions I've had as a result of that, there you go. There you go. Abdullah says, what if all fighting games suck at one point? For example, when Street Fighter V was out, it really would have sucked if you only played that awful fighting game. You're right. I mean, I remember I skipped it. I played Street Fighter V for like a year, and I said, F this, I'm never playing it again. And for like 6 years, I didn't play Street Fighter. I only played the classics, and then I came back to it when Street Fighter VI came out. So that's what I mean. That's part of the advantage of being a variety creator, and I'm so happy that I set myself up that way for success in the long run, because if I hadn't, I probably would have been gone a long time ago. Okay, let's see here. Big Mac, I got a $3 tip. Thank you, man. He says, I've always been a console gamer. I can now afford to get myself a PC. Do you think I should get something pre-built or try to build my own? You're asking the wrong person. I'll just tell you this. I don't think it's too hard to build your own PC. I think now what's happening is the market is fluctuating so much recently with pricing and everything. It's like, if it's not one thing, it's another, right? So first it was, I believe they were saying it was processors. Then it was graphics cards. Now it's RAM. Right? It's like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? It's always a different component now that seems to be overpriced. So, I don't know. You may actually get a better deal on a freaking pre-built because they're already built. Like, they already bought it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if they already built the PC with the existing components, if you go to buy it now, hopefully it's still the same price because they already purchased the components before the spike in cost. Right now, if you go to build your own, you might go to buy RAM and end up paying insane, exorbitant amounts of money for RAM. But if you buy the pre-built, they already built the cost of the RAM into the pricing of the PC, and therefore it's cheaper. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm not into these PC builds, so you'd have to look into that yourself. Will I be playing Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection when it comes out? I'm not sure what Mega Man Star Force is. I love Mega Man, but everything after the 1990s Mega Man, so basically at the end of like Mega Man X series into the Zero series, I don't know anything about. I know there was like Battle Network and all that stuff. I've never played any of that stuff. I don't know anything about it. So I don't even know what Mega Man Star Force is. I've never heard of it. Diligent Doge says it's not your typical Mega Man. Oh, yeah? What's the next DSP Tries It going to be? Interesting question. So we're not doing one this week. Reason being, we literally did a DSP Tries It every single week of 2025 for the most part. There might have been like 1 or 2 weeks we skipped, but it was just so prominent. What I wanted to do is give it a rest. So when it comes back, it has more meaning. I know for a fact there's going to be a New Jersey Mike's sandwich, a cooked Italian sandwich where they actually grill the ingredients. And that's supposed to be coming out on the 16th, I believe. So at the latest, like that'll probably be the next one I do. I just don't know the exact day I'll do it. But if we have anything else in the middle, I would love to know. If you guys know of other new food offerings, menu items, and things that are popping up that you'd like me to try, let me know. At this point, I want to wait for something meaningful rather than just go do something that's kind of trite and boring and not that interesting. I feel like I've done a lot of the good local stuff recently. Like I tried Jollibee again. We went to Shake and Go, and I loved that. So I don't know necessarily if I really want to do anything like that. And if there's no other options, like nothing new, then I probably will hold off until there's something worth doing. So let me know. If you guys know about anything new that's coming out that you want to see me do for DSP Tries It, I'm open. Like any new sandwiches, any new, menu items, any collabs, let me know. But I'm not in no rush to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to, let's just do it for the sake of doing it. I don't think so. I will say this. I do think at some point in 2026, all right, listen to this. I think I do want to try a Papa Murphy's pizza because I just don't understand the concept. For those who don't know, Papa Murphy's is an American restaurant chain where you go to the restaurant, you purchase a pizza, okay? You then bring it home and you put it in your own oven and you bake it yourself. They don't actually make the pizza for you. They hand you a raw pizza and you bring it home and make it yourself in your own oven. And the weirdest part about this is the pricing of the pizzas is pretty much exactly the same as the pricing of the places that cook the pizza for you. I just don't get it. I don't understand the concept at all. We've talked about it on stream recently, and I don't actually know anything about it. Like I don't understand it. It's not cheaper. Right now, you can go to the grocery store and you can buy a uncooked pizza from the freezer or from the refrigerator. They even make them usually at your grocery store refrigerator, and it's a self-rising pie. You make it in your oven, and that's much cheaper than a pizza you would order from a restaurant. So why does Papa Murphy's charge the same price as the restaurant that cooks the pizza? What is it? I'm lost. I'm so confused. No, it's not cheaper. We looked the prices up. It's not cheaper. Papa Murphy's is just as expensive. So I would love to try it. I think what I would like to do is get one, bake it myself, have it live on the stream, and see if it's any good. I'm so confused. R2U's burrito eating brother did a $2 super chat. He says they take advantage of food stamps. Well, that's what someone said weeks ago. They were like, somehow this they take advantage because there's assistance programs in the United States for people who are of low income, where the government will give you these assistance and you can buy food with it and stuff. So what people are saying is, oh, it's a way to get pizza, and since the food's not cooked, it can be purchased with the food program assistance. You can't do that. Like, you can go to Domino's and buy Domino's with it, but you could go to Papa Murphy's because you bake it yourself. It's considered qualified for the program. I find it very hard to believe that an entire business, literally an entire business, is kept afloat and supported by people who are on food stamps. That doesn't sound right to me. That sounds like maybe there's a portion. I don't think that's their whole business model. I'm just saying. But anyway, I don't know. Someone just said, but Walmart is basically mostly kept afloat by food stamps. But I don't understand what you're talking about. LTG shops at Walmart all the time. He talks about it on his streams. But he's affluent and wealthy. Why would he be shopping at Walmart? I just had to do it. I'm sorry. I know. Now people will give me shit. I had to say it, though. I had to. I couldn't resist. I had to say it. Now people are upset with me. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have done it. I should have had self-restraint. Today, I don't know. I was in a good mood. I reviewed some tech in the USA, and I was feeling like spry and, you know. Anyway. All right. What's going on, Retro Danny? How you doing, man? You like the background? He likes the background music. Glad to hear. I didn't say that. How dare you say that? I didn't say anything about that. I didn't say anything about LTG. What are you talking about? I didn't say a word. No, that didn't happen. Absolutely not. I would never say anything. No, sadly, we don't have Whataburger out here at all. I wish we did. I wish we had more variety in our food. Like, I just found out we had Carl's Jr. and we did that. And that was actually a good episode of DSP Tries It. The food was decent. But, yeah, we don't have Whataburger or anything like that to taste test, sadly. It's about to be gameplay time. We're about to end the show. It's a good show. It's a casual show today, but I had a good time with it. Thanks to everyone who chilled. Thanks to those who supported the stream. I appreciate you. I guess we'll end it now. And reminder, okay? Reminder that basically this is the last formal Level 1 podcast. There will be a show on Thursday, but that is my most disappointing games of the year countdown. So that's going to be in place of the podcast on Thursday. So likely the next formal podcast will probably happen on Sunday. Okay? So there is a show coming up on Thursday, but it is the year-end countdown. It's not going to really be the normal content that you would see on the Level 1 podcast. Okay? Cool. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, watching and supporting the Level 1 podcast. It will formally return next week, but I do hope that you're going to come by on Thursday to check out my most disappointing games of the year rundown. But in the meantime, thanks for the chill vibes and the fun. I hope you enjoyed the segment. Let me know what you thought about the review segment, and I'll see you soon for more. Peace out, everybody.